The first time I ever met Ryan.
Do you want me to show you? Does that work? My name's Tim Barber. I was born in Vancouver, British Columbia in 1979. I think it was pictures. Both my parents were photographers. They took a lot of photos, you know, when I was really young, and we used to have they took a lot of slide film, and we used to have slideshows of their old photos all the time. I think that was, looking at those slides, I think it was the first time I really kind of got interested in photo as a thing. I don't think I ever thought about it as a career, necessarily. I was really into skateboarding and snowboarding when I was a kid, and so there was that was a big impulse for me to shoot photos, was to document that. And that was a lot of the photos I was looking at was in skate magazines and snowboarding magazines. So I think that was the only way I saw it like applicable in terms of some kind of a profession. But I also never really wanted to be a professional sports photographer. I liked it more as a kind of artistic thing. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in a darkroom as a weird teenager. It's been a while. I haven't, probably my last year at school, which was 2003, I really learned that it's, especially here in New York where it's so expensive to rent time and all the equipment, all this paper and everything is so expensive, it's really just actually worth it to pay somebody else to print for me because they're better at it than I am. I really grew up looking at Magnum photographers as my kind of biggest inspiration. There was a book that my parents had called In Our Time that was like a compendium of all the greatest Magnum images, and I really was obsessed with that when I was young. I definitely have old photos that are my favorites that I'm like, oh, I'll never be able to make a picture that good again, but you can't really say that either. I think my favorite photo-related memories are jobs that I did working for Ryan as his assistant. We used to just do the craziest jobs together, and we'd go to like Eastern Czech Republic and all over the place. This was kind of early in the blogosphere world or whatever, so there weren't very many photo blogs or things of that nature at the time. So it's kind of a new thing, and started doing it, and it really just like snowballed and just started growing exponentially. Just, I had a page on the site that said, this is open for submissions, send me your photos, and I just started getting submissions from all over the world. About a year into it, a gallery here in New York called Spencer Brownstone asked me to curate a show for the gallery based on the work that was being presented on the site. And that was a big kind of step for me and for the project, because it took the work, off the computer and into the real world. I think I had like a point and shoot that my grandmother had given me, or that I took from her or something, like a shitty, no-name brand camera. And I know I have a lot of photos actually that I took with that from high school. I got my first T4 I got from my sister, I think. I've had dozens of those since then. I've had a lot of other weird point and shoots, Contact, T2, Olympus, Stylus is a good one. Now I have like a Canon 5D digital that I use sometimes. And I also have like the film equivalent to that, which I can't even remember what it's called. EOS or something, I don't know. I'm really not like a camera guy. It sounds kind of mean-spirited, and maybe I have a bit of a chip on my shoulder about my art school experience, photo school experience, but you learn doing it and through experience and through working with people, and definitely 1000% not at school. Like, I understand like doing this is kind of like for the kids or whatever, to like get some insight, but I also, so much of the time, I feel like it's so important for kids to figure that stuff out on their own. You just kind of have to. I work on some kind of photography every day, whether it be my own or, you know, a Tiny Vices related thing, or just look, I mean, I look at, you know, books, I look at websites. I've never had a fuck photography moment.